Good to see you.
Well, hello, John.
Man, you look like you're wearing, I think you're wearing the same shirt. Every time my hair, I don't, I think I'm losing hair and you're gaining hair, but can I have
Yeah.
some of your hair and you gift it to me?
Well, I could. My
Yeah.
grandson does grow his hair long. He shaves it off and donates it to children
I
with
think
cancer.
we went through this in a previous episode. That's pretty
And
cool.
I found out there's one for bald men. I can donate it for men who are lacking in hair.
I don't want to do this because then it'll,
Yeah, don't
oh
don't do
no,
it.
crap, what happened?
Hey, remember our work we did the out of Chicago with Brooks, and we all had long hair?
Oh my gosh, that was fun. That was good fun. That was good fun. Hey,
Actually, last time I saw him, he was growing his hair out.
I know it was like it looked actually pretty good. What? Oh, that's right, because we just did a Zoom share to talk about what we're going to do for the Out of Chicago Live coming up. By the way,
Yeah,
folks,
yeah,
that's a nice little plug for them. That's in February. You
that's
don't want
true.
to miss that because we're there, number one, but there's other people too.
And out of Chicago live
Is
only
not
means that,
live.
well, it's live, kind of live. It's live via Zoom
Yeah,
because I have everybody writing me saying I'm not going to be in the Chicago area during those dates. It's a Zoom presentation.
yeah. But it's great. There's like 50 great photographers doing presentations. None will be as good as ours, but that's okay. You should listen to them too.
We'll be doing one with Brooks, the three of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Kind of like.
So to date,
Yeah, what do you got?
I've got an email from a friend. I've spoken about my friend before, Russ
Russ.
Martin, up in New York, and he's gotten recently really gotten into AI created images.
Interesting.
And and I don't have any interest in them personally, but he sent me a batch that I want to share
Okay.
that made me wonder
Huh.
if someday photographers will be needed.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
let me just start the show and I'll explain what I mean.
Hmm.
You got me on the screen?
Yep. Looks good.
Okay. Are photographers no longer needed? He, of course, is familiar with my work. We've known each other for, gosh, I don't know, maybe 15 years. And
Wow.
he's seen my Harbinger series.
Okay.
And so I guess he decided to go and talk to AI. And I guess that's what you do, you talk to it,
Yeah.
and created a series of Harbingers. And some of them were pretty, they were wow images.
Yeah.
And I could see this giant image in some fancy modernistic home with kind of Peter Lick lighting,
Yeah.
and and think, wow, people might buy that. And some were just more I don't want to say mundane, but normal
Yeah.
images. But as I went through them, I thought they're just going to get better and better and better.
Yeah.
And probably it'll be able to create images that I would never be able to create, combine conditions that
Yeah.
I'll never happen upon.
Yeah.
And so it made me wonder, will someday photographers be needed? Because let's face it, out of the 8 billion people in the world, people who are buying photographs, they're not photographers like us.
No.
They just want a wow image on their wall. And
Yep.
AI is going to be able to create anything that they want. In fact, they might now go to an AI photographer, if I could use that term, and say, here's what I want. And they'll describe it. And this person will craft the exact image they want.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're saying there, I might be John Barclay, AI photographer. I'm not using a camera anymore. I'm just an AI photographer. And they're coming to me because I have the skills to create the perfect sentence structure. So I'm just thinking back to the images you showed, and I'm looking at them off to the side on my screen here. So he must have put in the prompt Harbinger in the style of Cole Thompson or something
No, no, I
in
suspect.
black and white toned.
No, I doubt he used the word harbinger or Cole Thompson. He just literally described what image he wanted. Like the first one, which was really probably the best. Let me bring that back up.
Yeah, the lightning bolt. So make a monolith with a cloud above it in black and white, and that's what he got.
Yeah, this one. And the interesting thing is, we're used to putting our images on the wall, having someone look at them and say, I want this one. It's now reversed. The person will come in and say, I've got an image in mind, almost like a vision.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
here's what I want. I want to have this seascape with a long exposure, with a
huh,
single boat out in the ocean, with a cloud, a single cloud, white cloud overhead, and the image will be dark and moody. I don't know how he terms them, but
yeah.
something like that. And instead of the photographer creating and us picking, it'll be reversed.
Isn't that weird? Boy,
Interesting. Now, here's what it doesn't address. Us who are into photography not to sell or to win or to earn likes, we're using it as our diary entry. This
yeah.
will never, I don't think, replace that.
No, because it's not a real experience.
Yeah, and for us who want to be out in the world and interpret the world, I'm sure there are those who are enamored with AI who would argue the point you're still the creator, you're still having a vision, you're still it's your idea, etc. But maybe it's just old school thinking. I just don't see it replacing me creating images in the field. But
Yeah, I would agree with that for the main reason I just said. For me, it's not real, and I struggle saying that because or some of the things we're doing in Photoshop are certainly not real. And you and I specifically like to give creative license to make something not be necessarily exactly what it was, take away something, darken something, lighten something, and so forth. So we're certainly altering reality, but at least for me, I'm still in that experience. I am still part of the experience of capturing that. I was actually there at that scene, making that image, and I'm still pouring all those feelings and vision specific ideas into that image as I process the image.
I mean, extrapolating into the future, we now have Musk's brain connection thing
Yeah,
implanted in our head, and we don't even sit at a computer and type out what we want. We simply think it, and it appears through our 3D vision goggles or something, and we're just laying in bed being fed through a tube and
yeah.
hooked up to a catheter, and we never have to move because we can do everything virtual. It's not a future that I would.
I have no interest. Yeah, a
Yeah.
matter of fact, I've got a new iPhone 16. I finally upgraded after 4 years or whatever it's been. I'm talking to a friend who's got an 8 and just upgraded. I told him, I said, you're going to notice a big difference with going from an iPhone 8 to 16. But there's a new thing called what, spatial or something? When you use, photo or pano or video, one's called spatial, and it's really for the Apple Vision Pro goggles. So
Mm.
you're going to be able to create with an iPhone a spatial photograph that when you look through your goggles, it's going to be in 3 dimension. It's crazy.
Well, the world's changing, that's for sure, and we're
Yeah,
not.
we're old and yeah, and we are maybe going to be left behind to some degree, but nothing's going to ever replace that print that I was part of, and in the experience of it, and I created it.
Maybe for the 7.999 billion other people who just want a wow image in their front room, maybe this is where AI will be successful. I'm not
Yeah,
sure, but
I guess.
when
Yeah,
you look
no,
at the harbingers he created, again, he'll create some things that I'll never happen onto in my life.
yeah, yeah. Well, be interesting. Comments below, ring the bell, do the jig, get yourself a cup of coffee, whatever you got to do. All right, buddy.